All right, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to go through the Chigorin. It's what you play against the French. It starts with the Queen E2. Funny story about the Chigorin is I've played this against both Alex Botez and Fabiano Caruana. I beat Botez, but I should have. I was actually winning against Fabi. I ended up flagging, but both games after Queen E2, they were like, "What?" And it's always a fun reaction, especially when it's not a bad move. Queen E2 is actually pretty legit. Um, the kind of the idea behind this, it's like, why am I putting my queen in front of the bishop? So first things first, if D5, um, take, and now they can't go pawn takes, they have to go queen takes. The other idea is, okay, even if we get that, how do I get this bishop out? A lot of times you will Fiend Shadow. And that'll actually just perfectly transition into the first variation. Let's look at if they go d5. So we're going to go knight c3, and there's two main setups here. There's if they go queen a5, and there's if they go queen d8. So if queen a5, what is potentially annoying, okay, actually, let me go queen d8 first. So queen d8, we actually borrow an idea from the cowboy, and we go b3, bishop e2, and you have a really, really fun attack here. The computer even likes it, so say less. So knight f6, bishop e2, castle, g4, and it's time to party. These positions are really fun. You just go g5. Um, I think one idea, I don't know, actually don't know if this is where it is, but there's some ideas with queen h5 and bishop d3. Also just g5. I mean, we could just take this guy. So actually, let's look a little bit because I'm kind of curious. So here, okay, yeah, it's not gonna be anything. It's the case. Maybe queen e4 is an idea because now you threaten bishop d3, and there's not really a half decent way for him to stop it. He can go f5, but his position's getting really ghetto. Um, so anyway, that position is super fun. So castle. Okay, so that's what we do against queen d8. Now if they go queen a5, it's a little bit different. So the reason here it's different is if we go b3, bishop a3 is always kind of annoying. Even if it's not like the best move, at some point they can just trade away the bishop, and it's a huge difference. And the other variation is bishop is a monster. His bishop is doing nothing. If he trades away the monster for the guy who's doing nothing, obviously he's gonna be pretty happy there. So against queen a5, we're gonna go d4. So d4, and basically bishop d2. Um, let's say bishop e4. And the thing you need to know here is you got to have some cojones. You go a3, castle, and castle queenside. So now, if they take on a3, it once again it looks a little bit scary. Apparently, you go 94. It's gonna just take it, I think. Okay, let me look at this real quick. What is the idea here? This is +2. Why is this so good? This king is busted, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'd probably go queen g4, but yeah, you can do this or you can be up a piece, and I think I'm more down to be up a piece. But yeah, if you really want to attack, you always have that option. So king b1, and just the ideas to know is you go queen c4 and you trade. Then you're up a piece. Pretty much no sweat. So here, white is doing super, super well here, and we're pretty happy with this position. Okay, so now that's if they go queen takes d5 after d5. So now the more common variations, I would say, are bishop e7 and c5. So the other way this can kind of go is they're going to make it a Sicilian. So already here you're kind of winning a psychological battle because you're playing a French player. They don't. I mean, once you play someone who's good enough, like if I'm playing Grandmaster, they played every opening, so they can easily transition or pivot from opening to opening. But if you're playing someone who's like 1400, 1200, 800, they know the French. They probably only know the French. So C5, kind of the way that I like playing it. If you want to go wild, if you want to be more, aggressive and edgy, F4 is the way to go. Now the problem with F4 is they're going to counter straight down the middle with D5. Maybe not immediately. Yeah, so actually, if you give it time, the computer will say that because F4 is kind of like I don't know, it's too early, if that makes sense. And if D5, you can go E5, you can go D3, but like computer really doesn't like those. So I would just go with G3. And like you can always go F4 later. You don't have to do it now. So bishop G2, so this is not really a threat. You just go queen D1 and you're going to get C3 with tempo. So it kind of balances out the loss of tempo. Um, Normally they're going to go G6. That's probably what I would say. And once they go G6, I like to go H4 and make it a little bit. No, no, actually, gotta wait for them to Fiend Shadow. So you go C3, Bishop G7, and then you go H4. I think there's a problem with H4 immediately. Yeah, I guess he hasn't committed. It's something weird. Like I would just memorize the idea. So yeah, so G6, and if you go C3, they're never gonna go H5 for the most part. They only go H4, H5 like or H6 reactively. I wonder if they go H5. Yeah, H5 is here. So now H5, we actually can just be like even Stevens and just ignore it, and because they've committed. But there's one really important maneuver that I want to show you guys. So H4, H5, and yeah, so you're gonna go knight A3 and knight C2 a lot of times. Maybe not immediately, but at some point, this knight on A3 is very flexible because it doesn't block the bishop. The bishop doesn't really know where it wants to go either. If you go bishop G5 too early, you can try to get knight H7 in, maybe bishop E3. So I would go knight A3, stay flexible, and then just play this position. A couple more just like sample variations. Um, and then yeah, you can come to d5. You basically have these like these two hooks, this left hook and right hook with the knight on this side and that side, where they can go either way and kind of make something happen. And then just play chess. At some point, yeah, f4 break is always there. Um, so that's what you're going to do against g6. So basically, after they fianchetto, I would go h4, make it spicy. I like going c3, and basically this is like this position. You want to think about it like water, like it's very flowy. There's no like I'm going to do this all the time kind of thing. It's like you even look at it like it's like there's a wave here, there's a wave here, there's a wave here. That's kind of how you want to think about it. And then the pieces are just kind of like I don't know, like running circles in the middle, if that makes sense. They're like dancing in the middle. That's the way to think about it. Um, okay. All right. So bishop. So that's what we're gonna do against this e6 g6. I think against e5 you do all this. You can actually go quick f4 if you want, and now it's a better version. E5 is really, I would say, not that common. The only other variation that I would say is pretty common and was annoying for a bit is bishop e7. This is actually what Fabi played against me. Um, and you can go g3. Yeah, once again, f4 is you can get away with f4 a bit more here, but I prefer to be a little less edgy and just kind of go with this. And if they go b5, which is what all the tryhards do, who are like, oh, I'm going to maximize this position. I don't mean tryhards in a bad way. I'm a tryhard too. So take, and here we go d4. We can have some really fun positions. Like after this, we can sack this pawn, and then it's just like that. This Catalan bishop. Once again, every opening somehow it's getting to a Catalan. Um, and just attack the light squares and get the bishop pair, and you can already see what he's doing really well here. So just remember, b5, we're gonna go like uh, we're gonna open it up because he's going b5 pretty early. Now, if he doesn't go b5, we're gonna go e5, and you basically get a kind of a King's Indian attack, but you have to wait. This is actually a very important move. Go c4 first, because then they can't roll you on the queen side. Like most of the time, it becomes this race where you're going over here, they're going over there, and hopefully you get there first, and then this is falling apart, but this might checkmate, this might not. We don't have to do that. We can go c4 first, and that makes it way harder. So if he goes d4, now we got the green light. Now we can go h4, bishop f4, and go for this like attack and sack the pawn and stuff. Um, so a6 is a bit more common, and here I think we hit the prophylactic rook d1, where it's like if they take, okay, now the rook makes sense here, and we're pretty happy with a nice space advantage, probably something like this and this at some point for bishop f4. Um, and yeah, there's a bunch of variations here. You can check the Lichess study if you want, but like white is doing super well up to rook d1. There's really not a very good response. And if they wait too long, okay, we'll just go h4 and start having fun. But yeah, this Chigorin is a very like water bending, flowy kind of position, I would say. Um, so I think that's pretty much it. Let me think. I think there's okay. So there's one more. They can after queen e2, they can go e5. Now, if you play the Gleck, then no sweat. You're doing all the same things. You go g3, bishop g2, knight f3. I guess knight f3 first to make him commit to defending this pawn. Where else is the knight gonna go? And I've actually had some good wins here too, I would say. And then just play chess, and we're good to go there. So so yeah, so that's gonna be the idea for the Chigorin. So let me go over the problem set now. Um, okay, so yeah, here we take. So this is if the queen is on d8, we're gonna go for b3, bishop b2. Um, if the queen is on a5, we're gonna go for d4, bishop d2, and just remember a3 b a3 not a3 b4. Oh my god, a3 castle queenside. You're gonna be okay. And if Sicilian, we're gonna go g3, bishop g2. And then this one should be a little bit more in depth. All right, so once they fianchetto, we're gonna go h4, and then knight a3 is useful, and then just kind of like flowy position. So if h6 here, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna go knight a3, knight h3. Okay, let me look real quick. So this is gonna be e6. Yeah, I'm like super. Well, let's see. Okay, so it's gonna be right after the fianchetto and h6. Yeah, so okay, actually, yeah, this is actually very important. You can go h5. I guess first you go d3, and then h5, g5, and f4. A computer says it's equal. I think actually like g6 a bit better. Computer says equal, but I'm aware they're going to castle. Position's a mess. Like computers can navigate this really well. It's pretty difficult for humans to navigate this because white already has development and potentially a lot of threats. So actually, yeah, very important position. If they go h6, look for h5 and f4. All right, so now if they go early e5, if they go e5 this fast, so you're going to go for early f4. So d3, f4, knight f3. Probably c3 just to stop knight d4 at some point. All right. Yeah, so how do we attack here? I think this is actually the position that I meant. You can go queen h5 and bishop d3. And then I mean you got all kinds of I think you actually sorry, you take the knight first. If you go queen h5, knight f4 is annoying. It prevents bishop d3 as well. So we're gonna take the knight, open up the bishop, and then I think you have like queen h5, bishop d3, and after g6 there's knight g4, knight h6 mate, if you all can follow. Okay, so against b5, we're gonna open it up, take, and then go d4, attack the diagonal. Um, Against this, we're gonna sack the pawn with knight e5. Knight e5, knight takes d4, queen d1, and you have this big threat of knight c6 on top of the attacking this knight. Um, okay, so if castle here, we're gonna go e5 and c4. So take the space, and then don't let them take space on the queen side. So this, and now so if they go d4, we're gonna go h4 and attack. If they go a6, trying to prep b5, we're gonna go rook d1, get ready to counter in the center. And last but not least, number 9. What would white do here? Um, I think I would just go h5 g6. That looks really strong. That's a really common idea if you want to attack the king. h5 g6, and it's time to party. So, okay, so those are the ideas for the Chigorin. So, pretty much all you're going to see. I played this for, once again, about a year and a half. And, yeah, you always get like a nice reaction from your opponent. There's always something to talk about. Um, and then as a bonus, it's just a good opening. Like, there's worst case is a King's Indian attack. And you're making a French player play a Sicilian. So, you're already psychologically winning a small victory there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely check out the other videos. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace.